So finally, we get to the part about how this whole thing works, why I created the Flexible Dieting Institute as a shell for the programming within our company, the Diet Doc, and also as what I think is going to be the future of defining this concept, flexible dieting, as the foundation of nutrition and weight management. So I have to say, I have spent the last 15 or so years doing more coach development than anything else. In our company, the Diet Doc, we license nutrition coaches. We train them, we support them. We have an incredibly great core team of coaches around the world that we continue to support as they work with clients in their own clinical circumstances. I also certify coaches. I'm part of two different certification agencies, the National Academy of Metabolic Science and Sport Nutrition Association. And I spend a lot of time writing curriculum and training coaches. I also do business development work. A lot of coaches have their own businesses already, their clinical practices, and I help them work inside of their businesses and expand and thrive. So I spend a lot of time, as my logo behind me says, equipping this next generation of nutrition coaches. I think that's incredibly important for the legitimization and the advancement of nutrition coaching as what I hope to become somewhat of an allied health equivalency. So here we are, 25, 30 years later from me starting in my own career. And with all of these changes in the industry and nutrition and exercise science and nutrition research, and I decided I still love coaching individual people. A lot of times I get email from somebody just out of the blue, and they say, I'm sure you don't have time, but can you recommend a coach? Do you by chance work with people? And I still do keep a small schedule of clients, because even somebody just getting started, it can be somebody who's really young or somebody who's never dieted before. I love that as much as anything I've ever done in my career. So I wanted to find a way to get back into doing some of that, but as a way that I can model it for all of these coaches that I license and certify and support. So I've got some team members within my company, and we decided we're gonna kind of break the bank. I want to show people how you can do this for anybody in the world, making nutrition and coaching accessible. And I think more than anything, people still need one-on-one, high-touch, high-service support. And so I know when you're in any kind of business, it gets tough to manage, and we throw around words like scale and leverage, and how do I keep giving my clients good service, but without working 20 hours a day, and it becomes very complex. But I've created this system that I think will work perfectly, because I've actually seen it work in our company. Some of our coaches internally, our core staff, do this, but we've just not really announced it as a company level. We've never created that kind of model. So what we're going to do, as always, one of the things I've done for 25 or 30 years is always have one-on-one coaching experience. You're going to have programming designed just for you. So when you go through an intake process, we're going to look at all those variables I've talked about in these videos, and we're going to create a nutrition program that we think is perfect for you. But then you need tons of support. You need individual support. So having some kind of a formal check-in where you are guided and all of your progress is monitored and assessed, that's important. That's something that has always happened. What I'm adding to this, and now I think, partly because just the technology exists, we're going to do a daily live coaching session. So for all of my clients and some of the other coaches in our company who want to be involved, we're going to have a live 1-hour support session every single day. I'm going to personally manage most of those. I'm going to try and do that at least 3 times a week myself, and then maybe have some guests. We may interview some people. We may bring on some guests to answer your questions. But this will be a session where you can come as often as you want and ask your questions. You can have that direct face-to-face interaction with me and my support staff. And I think this is what is truly going to be the biggest differential. As I mentioned, all of these principles, all these techniques, all this knowledge that we've created out there, a lot of coaches do a great job with that, and especially the ones that have been trained in our system and that you're going to have access to. But man, think about having that kind of support where every single day you can check in, ask a question and then leave if you want, or listen into other people's questions. It's going to be a community experience that is just beyond, I think, compare. So that's how it's going to work. I'm going to let you, as I said, go through the rest of these videos, look through this information. Feel free to reach out and ask us some questions, and we'll get you started.